and welcome back to another Speed Build Thursday. So for this video, I'm kind of going a little bit more back in time because I don't really have anything to talk to you guys about. But, yeah, there's just, you know, like I said, there's nothing really for me to talk about. Nothing has really been going on. Few things have happened, but nothing all too much that's really Speed Build material. So I decided, you know, let's go into my past, see what kind of stuff I can actually remember, and talk about that. So I think some of the stuff that sticks in my mind the hardest is my grade 8 year, which would have been middle school. And the one thing I really hated was my middle school was a completely separate school. It was only 2 years I was there, and the year I started, they decided to have frickin' uniforms. For school, the students are out for only 2 years. Just let that sink in for a moment there. And then you can figure out why some of this, I have some problems with the school. So first there's that. In the first year, you know, they don't really know what they're doing and everything like that, so the shirts are not that great. Bottoms are basically, just make sure they're black. Shoes they didn't really care much for and stuff like that. So in the first year, you know, it was pretty laid back. The second year it got a little bit more strict. They got completely new t-shirts when we were in the second year. Yeah, I know. But they said anyone who had the previous shirts can keep the previous shirts. So, you know, thank you. I don't have to spend another $50 on shirts. And then, but for pants, they had to either be skirts or dress pants. Okay, fine, that I can understand. It's a school uniform. They want us to look presentable. But then they said we can't wear sneakers. We're 12 and 13. We're not going to be wearing dress shoes and Mary Janes to school. I mean, I like Mary Janes, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to be wearing them every day to school. So, yeah, didn't listen to that. I wore black sneakers instead, which they tried to give me hell for, but my mom said if they wanted her to buy me new shoes, they were going to have to fork over the money. So, yeah, kind of let it slip. But then, okay, so this is the one thing that I got really mad about. My principal, she was very racist towards white people. Now, granted, there was probably about 5 white people in my year. So, in all of the grade 8 year, there was only about 5 white people. Racist to all of us. And the thing that really ticked me off and that really proved that she was, well, maybe not fully racist, but maybe slightly racist, but racist is still racist, was that I was wearing the proper shirt. I was wearing, because we had 3 different colors, blue and tan were the normal ones, gray for gym. I was wearing a blue one. I had black dress pants, and for that day I was actually wearing flats. So I actually looked like how she wanted me to look, except for one little detail. I had these silver beadings going down the sides of my dress pants. But those were the only pants I had, and normally I wouldn't wear them to school because I knew I would get hell for the little beadings down the side of my pants, but it was the only pants I had at the time. So it was just like, you know what, probably no one's gonna notice anyway. No, the principal noticed, and she went on a rant at me. And I think about 5 minutes into the rant, this girl walks past me. She's in bright blue jeans, a pink tank top, and showing a little too much cleavage. And I actually said to the principal, it's like, okay, I know my pants aren't to code, but she's not even in school uniform. Why don't you tell her off instead of yelling at me for having beading down the side of my pants? And she was like, oh, well, you don't want me to call your mother about all this? And I go ahead. She's going to tell you the exact same thing I just said about telling the girl who just walked past about her not wearing the school uniform. By the way, the girl, I think, she, might have been mixed. I don't know, but it's just like she's going off at me because I have beading down the side of my pants and pays no attention to this girl who's not even in uniform. I'm just like, you know, pick your battles here, lady, because you don't want my mom against you. And then, oh, my grade 8 year. I honestly, I hate my grade 8 year. That was also my grade 8 year, but my teacher, my grade 8 teacher, oh my god, hell. It was hell having her as a teacher. Not to mention that in my grade 8 year, that was the first year I experienced actual anxiety and depression, so yay for me. But this teacher was a teacher from hell. She actually kicked me out of a group because I had done the wrong topic due to miscommunication. And even though I was willing to pass off my notes to the other student and do all this research again, she said, no, you're out of the group. And then, when I went to the group to explain to them what, you know, tell them I was sorry and everything, and, you know, all that kind of stuff, they were actually willing to let me back into the group. She said no. I was going to fail an assignment because she didn't, like, oh, she was actually going to purposely fail me. And, oh, my mom was not going to have any of that. And the thing is like, she was like, oh, well, you know, she only wants back into the group so she can pass the assignment. Yeah, that's kind of the point of being in school, to pass assignments and tests and all that kind of stuff. It's like, of course I want to pass the assignment. And of course, you know, my mom was having trouble that year, so I was heading home early a lot of those days to help her out, because I think she had like sprained her ankle or something like that, and so I was helping her because she could barely walk. And it's just like, you know, my mom was like ready to march down to that school and ring the teacher. I swear you she was, because she purposely kicked me out of this group. And then one of the other times, like, she called up my mom and she's like, well, you know, your daughter's like 10 assignments behind. And I'm just like, 10 assignments? What? We hadn't even had 10 assignments. That's what was funny. At that point, I think we had 3. So how I was 10 assignments behind, I don't know. My mom even called her out on the BS for that one. But, yeah. Oh, and then my favorite one of the whole thing that made her look bad in front of the whole class. I normally bring a book to class, but because of how she had been treating me lately, I decided not to, because she decided to pick on me because of my book choice. It's saying that I was dumb because I was reading books for people who were still in elementary school. I was reading Percy Jackson, by the way. So, but then again, so was another teacher. So, yeah, I told that teacher that, and she got mad. But yeah, so I had decided not to bring my book in because we weren't going to be reading until the afternoon, and this was the morning. And so we're sitting there in class, I'm doing my math work, and she, from her desk, tells me to put my book away and stop reading. And I go, I don't have a book on me. And then I say, well, actually, I have French to English dictionary, but that's about it, because I have French first first period every day, except on Fridays, or day 5, whatever you want to call it. So she sends over a kid from my class to look in my desk and pull out my book out. And he goes and he's like, you know, sorry and everything. And I go, fine, you know, I don't care, because I knew I didn't have a book. And he pulls out my French to English dictionary and he goes, this is the only non-textbook she has in the desk. And the whole, she goes, oh, well, she's probably hiding it. So I actually stand up, walk away from the desk, and I don't have a backpack or anything. That's all in the locker. I said, go ahead, look, I have nothing. And, you know, I was sitting with, 3 other people, and the guy who came over, he was checking everything. No book on me. And the whole class, I could, see people laughing at her because she was making herself look bad. And, oh, it was just payback. Sweet, sweet payback. But yeah, so those are my sort of horror stories from grade 8 year. I like listening to it, I can like think back on it and laugh, but you know, during the time, I think it was because, again, I was just starting out to have my anxiety and my depression. That was the first year it really hit me. And having the teacher from hell was just not helpful. I was so thankful that the French teacher I had, oh, she was an angel. If it wasn't for her, I think I would have dropped out of school at age 13. Oh my god, okay. Anyway, I am going to end this video off here, guys. I hope you've all enjoyed it. If you have, please hit that like button, comment, and share. And don't forget to check out don't forget to check out all of my other videos. I do the Newcrest Legacy Challenge on Mondays, Hopa videos Tuesdays and Fridays, and the Big Sister Challenge with my cousin Jacqueline on Wednesdays. And do hit that subscribe button and notification button to stay up to date with all the videos I post. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye! Rejected! Yeah, you just got rejected! R-E-J-E